Hi everybody, it's Tamara from Eyes, or if you're coming from Instagram, that's Tamara from Prairie Town Girl, whichever. So as usual, I have a very fun and very easy project for us to play with. And we're going to do several different versions so you can see just how versatile this is. So what I have here is a shaker bookmark. So you can see it's got all kinds of fun little things inside of it that move around. Same with this one. So these ones are, they're made with quite bright paper because I made these, I think I made them years ago, and I use them as bookmarks. But in our junk journal world, we don't usually go with quite such bright colors, so I'm going to make a couple of different versions here. So we need, what I have them encased in is wax paper. Now, I don't really have, what I have, it's the box says that it's wax paper, but it's a little bit different. It's a little more opaque. This is more of almost like a very thin freezer paper maybe. We don't really have freezer paper here in Canada, but I got this from the Dollar Tree, and it's certainly not wax paper, but this is what I have on hand, so that's what I'm going to be using. So it's going to be a little different than these. And yeah, we're going to try all different things that you can put inside of them. So let's get started. The first one I'm going to do is made with this beautiful paper, and this is from a very old pack of paper, so I'm not even going to tell you the name of it because you won't find it. It's very old. Like most of my stuff, it's just, you know, it's been hanging around.
Just a sec.
Okay, sorry, my my iPad just started talking to me, which is weird because I never use that feature, so that kind of scared me. Anyways, so I'm going to cut a couple of strips because this is only one-sided. If you have two-sided paper, you just have to do one strip. I'm going to do it 1.5 inches wide, and then we'll see how long. I'm just going to take a strip here. I'm going to have to do it this way. So let's line it up. Okay, so 1.5 inches. And you don't even have to have straight edges. You could use some scallop scissors and go along. You could make it just a tiny bit wider and scallop your edges. That would be gorgeous. Yeah, I'm going to do one more strip here because I think if I fold that in half, it's not going to be 6 inches. It's okay, but I think I want mine a little bit longer than that. And of course, you could use two different papers. You could use wallpapers, you could use your coffee stain papers, you could use anything you want, really. I'm using this scrapbook paper because it has just a little bit of body to it. Let's see, these ones are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're around 8 inches, so let's just sort of go for that. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Snip, snip. And these will be used for something later on. I don't know what, but okay, so I need a little piece of wax paper. So I'll just cut off a chunk, and I think what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm just going to fold it, and then I'm going to stick, actually before I do that, I'm going to just put a little bit of glue down the center. It doesn't have to be lots, it's just to keep these two pieces from separating. That's good enough. Okay, say okay. We've got 1.5 inches, plus we want, I'm going to say, oh, let's say 1/4 inch on each side. How about that? So 1.5, so we're going to go to 2. Let's see here. There we go. So your finished bookmark will be somewhere around 2 inches wide. And I might be able to use that for another set. Okay, so this is going to go in here. Now remember, you don't want it right up tight on the side. We want it to sort of float in the middle. And I just, all I'm doing is trying to figure out how long I want this. So first thing I need to do, I can tell my, I was going to use my scissors, but I think I'm going to use my knife instead. I can tell that the top edge is just the tiniest bit crooked. So I'm going to even that up. There we go. And then we did 8 inches, right? So I'm going to go 8.5. Just to give me that little extra room to maneuver. 8.5. There we go. Okay. And, oh, I don't know, should I? Okay, I'm going to ink my edges on this paper. It looks quite pretty. Okay, all inked up and ready to go. So let's just slide this in here. And if you want, you could put another little dab of glue inside to hold the paper in place, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. What I do want to do is I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew the long edge across the bottom and up the other long edge. And I'm going to leave that top part open because we want to use that to put our little glitzy bits in there, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm all sewed up. I just sort of maneuvered around my insert, and now I'm just going to tuck something glittery in there, and I just happen to have, I don't even know where this stuff came from or why I have it, but I've got sort of like sequins and all kinds of things in here, so I'm going to throw these in there. I guess I have like sort of a front and a back, but you could put stuff in on both sides and then you can really see it jingle jangle around. Okay, so of course now I'm going to have sequins everywhere. There we go. So they're all moving around. So I'm just going to sew across the top now. Okie doke, so I just made another one with you guys, but I'm totally going to delete all of that part of the video because I think it's an epic fail. I used a book page and I did a zigzag on the edge and I tried to put some book page bits and some glitter on the inside, and I think it looks horrible. It looks really bad. So let's try that again. So I've got a piece that is, so that's 2 inches wide. I'm going to cut a little bit off. I think I can go to 1 3/4. And I'm going to try this again. I'm going to scallop the edge. side. Oh, this is so skinny. I don't know. Why isn't this working? Alright. There we go. Well, I bet we could even use one of these pieces here. It's skinny enough that it'll fit. These are my leftovers from what I cut off before. Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to go and, okay, so first I'm going to ink my edges and then I'm going to sew it in there. And I think we will stick to the high impact glittery bits there, the sequins and things like that. I think that has a better effect, and I'll be right back. Okay, it's all sewed up, and I'm just going to throw my sequins in here. It's basically the same idea as the first one. And I changed to some green thread. So it's good to have a little bit of contrast, it seems, because the book page is such a plain paper, especially behind the wax paper. Ugh, can't get those ones in there. Okay. I think I'm going to try to throw some of this, sorry, some of this confetti in there. Let's see here. Right in there. Oh, that's okay. I don't mind that. So I also just wanted to show you, oh, and I have a piece of lace sitting here right in front of me, and I keep looking at it thinking, you know, that would be nice. Instead of paper, you could put a big piece of lace inside. That would be really pretty. So another thing you can do with this, sort of the same concept, I have a page in this butterfly journal somewhere. Let's see. What section is it in? Oh, right here. It's sort of the same idea where I've taken a wax, actually I think this is that paper, and I cut out some butterflies from book pages and I sewed them in between two sides, and so they're kind of caught in the net, so to speak. And yeah, so that's, and let's see, so you can see I just put it in just like a regular signature. It's double the width, and I sewed around each rectangle. So that's another way you can sort of use this idea. I'm not giving up on the glitter though. I feel like it should work. It should look pretty. I just need to find the right contrast, I think, between the glitter color and the background color, because that's what's making this pop so nicely, is that there's a neutral background, and then the stuff that's floating around in there is a complete contrast. And so even though, if you remember, the sequins are quite bright and loud, but with this wax paper it kind of dulls it down. So it's a nice way to use some of that bright stuff you have in your stash in your junk journals, which are usually a little bit more, you know, vintagey looking. So anyways, I don't know if this was a total success, but I hope this gives you some ideas, and I'm going to keep working on this. I feel like I could get it even better. We'll see. But thank you for joining me today. And let me know how you use this idea, and come on over to Instagram and check out the rest of my projects. I post almost every day. I try to. So lots of stuff doesn't make it over here on YouTube. So come on over and check it out. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.